Welcome, friends, to Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter. We bring you the greatest female voices in the music industry, from the artists, songwriters, and producers, to managers and executives, and all the women who make the music industry what it is today. Thank you for joining us.
All right.
Welcome, friends, to another episode of Crazy Women Country. I'm Donna, and today I am here with the amazing Annie Neeley. How are you doing?
I'm great, Donna. It's great to be here with you today. Thanks for having me. I am a crazy country woman, so I'm pleased and proud to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. So the only thing we didn't talk about before we got started today, which is kind of rare, it was the weather. Now, I know you're in West Virginia, and I believe you're starting to get snow right now. It's nice and cool here in Florida. I'm saying that because we're in like the mid 70s and the sun's been kind of hitting this week. So it's been nice today.
Yeah, it's cold here. It was 21 this morning when we woke up, and there's ice on the windshield and frost and snow kind of still lingering. It snowed a bunch on, the other day. I can't remember which day it was, but it snowed a lot. We got like 3 inches of snow. It was crazy. So yeah, winter just kind of said, hello, we're here. Let's do it. So yeah, I'm in my basement and I'm all bundled up. So.
Oh my goodness. And I'm here wearing t-shirts and shorts like usual. So I apologize for that. I'll try to send you some, if you'll send some cool,
all right.
Kind of mix it up a little.
Yeah. It's always cold down here in the studio. I don't know why, but that's all right. Keeps the brain moving.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you have to stay moving too, because,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so we do love to start with the most difficult question. I know the weather was not it.
Fabulous.
Tell us, who is Annie Neeley?
Oh my gosh, that is a very difficult question. Wow. I'm an Appalachian American woman who sings and writes songs and has always loved music. And I am a mom and a band leader and a wife and a tour director and all the things, musician and backup singer and all the things that come along with, just kind of being a lifer musician. So I've been doing this a long time and I keep thinking I'll stop. And then I'm like, well, what else would you do? You love it. So just keep on going, So I do always find projects to keep me interested and just keep it rolling. And yeah, so, and I'm a daughter and a sister, and I'm lucky enough to still have my parents, and we live real close to them here in West Virginia. And yeah, so that's about it, I guess.
Well, that's all exciting.
So I'm a lot of things.
The wearer of many hats.
I am. Yeah, for sure.
I think as women, we just do it all sometimes, don't we?
We do. Yeah. We're like kind of born to multitask and I am a person that likes to have many, many different things going at one time. Like I'm not a one job kind of person. I like to be moving in many different directions. So yeah, which is great because music kind of forces that, you're always moving in different directions.
So true. So obviously, some of our audience may not have met you yet. So tell us about your latest release, which actually came out last September.
It did.
Big Moon. You want to tell us all about that?
Yeah,
Big Ole Moon. Sorry.
That's okay. Those were songs. The release came out. We weren't sure when to release it because of COVID. It was recorded the weekend of the anniversary of the Apollo moon landing. So it was recorded on the 50th anniversary of the Apollo moon landing in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which, if you're familiar with West Virginia at all, is the home of the Mothman. So we recorded it in our friend's studio, Bud Carroll, a great player and producer and engineer. And he lives in a cabin like not too far from where the first Mothman sightings happened back in the 50s. So it kind of has a really cool vibe to it. It was the hottest weekend of 2019, July 19th and 20th. And we recorded everything live in his house. So I went back and I just did scratch vocals and went back and did some vocal backups, although a lot of the stuff we kept, but it was all pretty much live. And yeah, we got it done real quick. And then COVID hit, and about 6 months later, before the mixes were done. And then we were like, well, we got a record and it's just sitting around. So, but all those songs were, I wrote a lot of them like when we still lived in Nashville before we moved back to West Virginia. And they just kind of took on a different life when they got here, to back to the mountains. And then some of them were new, and some of them were collaboration with my husband, who's my bass player, and sometimes co-writer. We write together and separately. And so, yeah, it's a great record. I really love it. It has, we call it acid waltz country because it kind of, the songs are kind of, a lot of them are kind of spacey, but it's all with a country theme. I mean, country music is in my veins. I didn't even know it was until I tried to be like a punk rocker a long time ago, and I love punk rock music, but every time I opened my mouth, it just sounded like Appalachia. So I was like, okay, it's just in there. I'm gonna roll with it. So I did. Yeah. Big Ole Moon's a great
It's an amazing album.
I'm really proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
It's an amazing album. I was listening to it. So
thank you.
Even though I got the title wrong, I was listening. It was great. So
yeah, we have it on vinyl too. We got it done on vinyl, which is cool because now there's a big vinyl backup. Like you can't get anything pressed, and we just happen to have a friend in Nashville who has amazing mastering, independent mastering, our friend Eric Kahn. And he's like, hey, why don't you go with these guys? And they kind of squeezed us in through back channels. Vinyl Lab, which is the newest pressing facility in Nashville. And they're great. They were great to work with. Lovely people, cool facility. We're going to go back there and do a live show. So at their, cause they've got like a whole studio for live performance and a bar and party space and all this stuff. So we're going to go back and do that probably next spring or summer. Yeah. So
wonderful. I'm excited for that for sure for you. Oh, so were there any songs off here? Obviously, sometimes with the COVID and everything and the chaos, were there any songs off here that you were like, and I know this may change because they're all your babies, right? But were there any that you're like, this is like my favorite right now?
Yeah, it changes. Wow. I really, really love Hero. Because it's a song that kind of started in Nashville, and so I was trying to teach myself to play, I'm a terrible piano player, but I was trying to teach myself to play Lean on Me by Bill Withers from Slab Fork, West Virginia native Bill Withers, who I met actually when I came back here. And even though he lives in California, he was in town. Anyway, it was great to meet him. And I cried, nearly fell down and passed out. But I was trying to teach myself to play that song, which is an amazing song. We all know that song, and it's real simple to play on the piano. But I couldn't figure it out, parts of it, and with any degree of skill. But then Hero just kind of came floating in, and I took it to my friend Matt Moody, who is a fantastic songwriter in Nashville, and had a band called Hands Down Eugene, and he kind of layered some other things in my brain with it. And then we came back here, and it's actually written about a friend from here. So it just kind of, that one just has multiple layers, and it's very slow, and it's very kind of sad, but it's just, I don't know. I just love it. It resonates a lot with me. That one does. And I guess that one, and maybe Augusta sometimes, because Augusta's about living here. I left here when I was 17 years old, and I didn't come back for a long time. So it's kind of a song about, like, a couple of the songs on the album are about like being an adult person in a place where your familiarity is as a child, because they're two different things, and how you see people that you knew, and how much you've changed from being away, and how much they have changed but have not changed because they haven't gone anywhere. And it's there's a lot of that feeling on the record, like reconciling past and future together in a past place in a future scenario. So present and future scenario. So yeah. So,
And
and
that's
I
so
guess
true.
Big Old Moon. What's that?
No, I was gonna say that's so true because I felt that journey when like not obviously not going to your hometown, but I was just thinking about if I went back to my hometown and things like that too. It's just that's how I felt when I was listening to parts of the different songs, and I'm like, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like there are some people that just haven't changed, and they're friends on wherever
Mhm.
social media, maybe Facebook or whatever, and you can tell
Yeah.
that they haven't changed, and that mentality is just still there, and it's like, okay, yeah,
Yeah. And they love their lives, and they've been very
mm-hmm.
successful in their lives, and they're very
Yeah,
happy never having left this tiny little
yeah,
place where we're from. And that's a beautiful thing, and it's something that
it is
I can't wrap my brain around because I went
great.
everywhere, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's interesting trying to interact with that on a daily basis. But then I was going to say that Big Old Moon is a song that I wrote about my son, and we went to the studio and I said, it's a beautiful lullaby. My son's first word was moon. And we used to go out in the front yard when he was a baby, and he'd say, you see that big old moon? And so I wrote this song around, it was kind of like a lullaby. And then Bud heard it and he was like, rock and roll. So he just like threw these like massive Telecaster riffs on it, and it just got really big. And it's so fun to play live. That one
Yeah.
is really, really fun to play because people sing along, and which is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Every time that happens, I'm sure that any other women who have been on your show, and I've watched a couple of the episodes, like anytime somebody sings your lyrics back at you is like makes your day in the most incredible way. It's so amazing. So
Okay, but I'm not gonna sing anything back to you because I probably shouldn't sing. Lip sync maybe, but I always tell her because
that's fine.
I'm just not that tone adequate. I'm pretty tone deaf, so yeah,
But you love it, and that's the important
I
part.
do.
So, yeah. Yeah.
I do absolutely. So tell me, who are some of the women that inspire you musically?
Wow. Number one, Lucinda Williams. Oh my gosh. I met her 2 months after I moved, 3 months after I moved to Nashville. We both went to go see Derek Trucks, the Derek Trucks band. Derek at the time was traveling. He was a child. He was like 16, I think. So his dad was like traveling with him, and he had a baseball cap on. And I don't even think it was like the Derek Trucks band at that point. It certainly wasn't Tedeschi Trucks. It was more like, Derek Trucks and the whatever backing band he had with him. But we knew it was amazing. And so we went to this little club in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and Lucinda was there. And I was like, well, I'm going to go chat with her. And she was so totally cool. But I had just gotten to Nashville, and she said, I was like, dude, what do I like? How do I deal with this place? This kind of, at the time, this was 1999. So at the time, Nashville was very different than it is now. I mean, it was just a tiny little, like weird, odd music, like it was cool. Like, but you would just see, like, I saw Martina McBride at the grocery store all the time. She's like, hey, and her kids are with her. And like everybody, it was just small. It was just really small. And so I said, what do I do in this space? And she said, it's a 7-year town. And you're going to play for 7 years, and nobody's going to have any idea who you are. And then after 7 years, like people are just going to know your name in this town. And she was on the like spot on, like within 7 years, it was like, I would say, hey, I would call places and say, hey, this is Annie Neeley. I want to book. And they're like, oh yeah, hey, you haven't played here. Now I've been gone for 7 years, and I know lots of people who own places, and I can still get gigs there, but it's not the same as, I don't know people when I walk down the street as much as I did before. So it's a different place now. But yeah. So Lucinda, Loretta Lynn, how many times have I seen Coal Miner's Daughter? I cannot even tell you. Loretta, Tammy Wynette. Oh my Lord. So Tammy Wynette, people used to make fun of that song, Stand By Your Man. And I was like, okay, I'm going to learn Stand By Your Man so I can play it at open mic nights as a joke, right? So I picked up a Tammy Wynette album, and I was just learning that song because it was a joke. And then I started listening, and I was like, this woman is the greatest singer of country music I've ever heard. And I became an instant fan. And I just was listening over and over and over again. The way she like frames her lyrics, and and lets her voice drop on certain notes and just to make the drive the drama and like hold the emotion in it. She is a master. She was a master. Who else? Bobby Gentry. Love Bobby Gentry. Man, there are so many. So many. In the bluegrass world, so I played bluegrass for a long time and I still do whenever I can. There's a woman named Hazel Dickens, West Virginia native Hazel Dickens. She died back in 2008, but Hazel was a huge influence on me. She was probably the top female woman bluegrass songwriter that ever existed. And to this day, she still is one of the top. And she just has a real kind of like no holds barred, driving, just like, here is what life is like in your face. Here it is. And I mean, it's punk rock, there's nothing more punk rock than Hazel. So love her. It would be easier for me to name somebody I didn't like. It didn't influence me because I hear everything. Yeah. So
absolutely. There's so many great women out there. And I think sometimes we don't get to mention all of them. And, at least getting to talk like this, we get to find new women that we may not have heard of or absolutely.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
So would you like to do our 20 crazy questions now?
Oh, I'd love to. I love 20 crazy questions. Yeah. I'm ready.
Wonderful.
Shoot.
Okay, great. And I swear we won't get arrested yet.
Okay. All right.
Tell me, what's your Dance Like Nobody's Watching song? The song you absolutely have to dance to.
Oh, Dance Like Nobody's Watching song. Oh man. So I like literally any Adele song. Like if I'm alone and Adele is on, I am dancing. I love Adele. It might just be kind of a free flowing thing, but yeah. Adele for sure. Or The Clash. Anything. Yeah. I am definitely a dance like no one's watching person. I do that for sure.
Oh. Okay, so let's follow this up with tell me the perfect workout song or perfect workout genre.
Oh, without question, anything by James Brown. I like, or the funky three corners, like that whole like funk thing. Anytime Bootsy Collins is playing the bass, you can work out to it for sure. Yeah. Yep. James Brown, no doubt.
That's my workout playlist now. That's a new one. I haven't heard that yet. That's why I was like, I love these questions. I'm like, I can learn to,
Yeah.
Oh, so tell me your top two favorite concerts you've ever attended.
Wow.
Hard one,
dude.
huh?
I've been to a lot of concerts. That's a tough one. Okay. Aretha Franklin at the Ryman Auditorium. I saw her twice. And I honestly couldn't tell you which one was better, but that has to be one. Because I just cried the entire time. And she was absolutely incredible. So Aretha and the weirdest country band that ever existed, the Grateful Dead. That would be in probably the Hampton, Virginia show that I saw when I was in college. It's kind of a famous show. If you're in the Grateful Dead family, but yeah, the Grateful Dead are hands down the most bizarre country band that ever existed. And I love their music. I'm a huge Deadhead. And yeah, so probably that Hampton show is definitely the one. Yeah. But I can't even begin to Clarence Gatemouth Brown and like this tiny, I saw Bob Dylan in a club. So that was a pretty good show too. Yeah. That was great. There were like 200 people there. Gillian Welch was there. David Rawlings was there. And Emmylou Harris was there. We're like standing next to each other in front of Bob Dylan. I was like, this doesn't suck. Yeah.
That's a pretty awesome concert. Yeah.
That was a good show. Yeah. I mean, there's like, Bob Dylan is singing songs and there's 200 people in a room. So it was pretty cool. Yeah. It was great.
I have to say, I love the more intimate sessions like that. Like instead of like, no, granted, I see the huge major stadiums, and I get, every artist probably wants to play those, right? But I love those intimate sessions, like the
Yeah.
small crowds. It just feels so much more intimate, and I just love it, and the rawness, and just get to
Yeah.
appreciate it without like a whole like crowd just screaming, whatever. So
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah. Everyone there is completely focused on what's
Mhm.
happening on the stage. And it kind of takes on like a different, it brings some other thing into the room when that happens, And I have seen people do it in stadiums before. Stevie Wonder did it in a stadium once arena. I have seen it happen, but it's so much in those smaller rooms. It's easier to make that kind of ethereal presence reverberate, for sure. So
Absolutely. So, tell our audience some albums, maybe some artists they need to listen to before they die.
Okay. Uh wow, before they die.
Obviously, your albums they need to listen to,
Right.
right?
So listen to my albums.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to Hazel Dickens and Alice Gerrard. They have two. The Pioneering Women of Bluegrass record is Hazel Dickens and Alice. Just they have something really really special together. So definitely listen to that one. Um, Emmylou Harris live at the Ryman. If you haven't heard that record, listen to that record. And Wrecking Ball, which was produced by David Lanois, which that's a beautiful record right there.
Oh, I think you froze just a minute. Hold on.
And sure, and that's a good one. Working Man's Dead is on my list. What's that? Did we lose it?
You froze just a minute. It was funny, like
Working Man's Dead.
All of a sudden you froze.
Oh, yeah. Did I? Okay. So Working Man's Dead. Oh man, I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night and go, "Oh, I forgot." Like so. That's totally gonna happen. Man, there are just
I'm gonna
so
get a
many
message in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Sandy Denny. Sandy is one of my favorite records of all time. Really good one. Wow. Yeah. Coco Taylor and her Blues Machine. And then I'll end on this one. Aretha Franklin's Amazing Grace record. They just put the movie out. So it's a live record of a performance that she did in Los Angeles in 70, if not 74. And it is one of the most beautiful things in the world. There you go. I'm going to end it there because I could go on for days.
Okay, so I'll just ask you, when we need some new music, who should we listen to? Give us something.
Oh, wow. I'm listening to S.G. Goodman right now. I love S.G. Goodman. She's amazing. I'm looking forward to the new Hello June record. I heard some of it the other night right here in my basement. I heard new mixes, so check that out. I am also listening to Sharon Van Etten a lot. I love Sharon. I love Angel Olsen. They do a thing together. Let's see, who else am I listening to that's new? There's a hip hop artist from West Virginia named Shalem. And he's really awesome. I love his tunes. You can find him all over YouTube. He's got a tune called Sugar Water it had some threw up some pretty big numbers on YouTube. I'm not sure if he has anything out. I think he releases his singles on like Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff. So you can find him there. Let's see. Who else am I listening to that's new? Wow. Okay, I'm drawing a blank, so we'll just stop there.
It's all good. Now, here's a good question.
Okay.
Guilty pleasure music. Do you have any music that is on your iPod or a playlist or anywhere that no one knows you really listen to?
No one knows I really listen to. Oh man. I mean, honestly, like probably there's some Grateful Dead stuff on there that people would just be like, really? Are you listening to that again? That might be it. I don't really have. No, I really don't. think I have anything like that. I'm just kind of, oh, well, I don't know. I listened to the new Taylor Swift record, and my husband and my son listened to it too. And I think she's an amazing human being. I've never been a huge fan of her music, but I listened to this new record and I was like, I'd probably throw that on again and listen to that again. They didn't care for it, but I thought, okay, yeah. Oh, and Lizzo. Oh my God, I love Lizzo. So I guess she's like, I listen to it out loud in the house. I mean, we don't really do guilty pleasures in my house. Like everybody can listen to whatever they want to at any time, judgment free, So yeah, I love Lizzo. She's awesome.
Oh, I love it. Lots of music. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
So hypothetically, if I came to you and said, I need to hide a dead body, do you know a good place?
I do. I know 4. I've my best friend and I have discussed this at length. Yeah, West Virginia is full of places for that. Yeah, I can hide a dead body in a heartbeat. Oh. Nobody would ever find him. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I will just call you. That's all.
Appalachia.
I will just call you. That's all.
Okay, good.
Oh, do you have a game plan for zombie apocalypse?
Wow. Oddly, we have talked about it because we just watched Night of the Living Dead. My 13, we do movie night every weekend here. Somebody picks a new movie and my husband picked Night of the Living Dead. So we kind of discussed this very recently, like what we would do. And fortunately, my son and my husband are both pretty good shots. So I guess I'd be okay for a while till we ran out of ammo. Yeah. Hold up, stay put. Yeah. Hoard stuff, I guess.
Perfect. I'll just bring you some ammo and just hang out. Well, you and I can cook and whatever and pull
exactly.
Them. Yeah. We'll just be like, are you having fun yet? Yeah. Oh. In your opinion, what job would you be terrible at doing?
Job would I be terrible at doing? I've done so many jobs. Let's see. I can honestly say that I am a terrible server. I'm really bad at it. I'm no good. I tend to hover and make people uncomfortable. And that is just not a quality that any server should have. So yeah, I'm bad at it. I'm probably the only musician that's never been like a server, that's never served in a restaurant before. I did it for 2 weeks and I was so bad at it that I quit and returned to my standby job of lifeguarding, which I'm really good at. So, or was when I was still certified. So, but yeah, I went back to lifeguarding from serving, even though the money was way better. I was like, yeah, it's too much for me. Okay.
That's why you're hovering. It's that lifeguard mentality. That's what it is. You're just watching, make sure everyone's okay. You're not going to choke, are you? I
doing. Exactly.
So tell me, what's the first thing you would do if you won the lottery?
Wow. Quit my job. To call my husband and have him quit his job. And then Sarah and I would probably form a company together and call you and say, let's make this woman thing happen right now and take over the world from there. Yeah.
Perfect. World domination. I'm in. Don't tell my day job. I've already proposed world domination with them. So it's all good though. Awesome. It's healthcare. So it kind of crosses over.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, so tell us, what's the last thing you read? A good book? A few emails? I don't know.
Ooh, I'm reading. Okay. So I'm also in graduate school. I'm a teacher in my day job, and I really do love teaching, but I don't have a formal certification. So I'm in graduate school to get that, which I don't recommend having a band and having a full-time job and having a family and a dog. And I don't recommend that. 0 stars. Definitely do not recommend. But but I am reading a lot of interesting things about educational psychology and special education right now. So that's so I learned about like the IDEA, and the ADA and lots of things that relate to special education, which is cool. But I am also reading Rocket Boys by Homer Hickam Jr., they made a movie of it called October Sky. And I'm rereading it with my son, who's 13 and super into NASA. So we're reading it together, the two of us. We're doing like a chapter a day and reading it together. So yeah, I read a lot. I love reading. So
Awesome. And yes, I totally understand with graduate school. I started college full time when I was an adult in a full time day job, and I'm like, this was like the dumbest thing I ever did. Now I understand why people go like, but I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I still don't, So
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I get
it's
it.
hard.
It is. People don't know. It's like 10 o'clock at night and you're like, I don't want to write the paper. I don't want to write it. I want to go to bed. Yeah.
Or the best part is I used to procrastinate till like the last day. And I'd be like, how many pages this has to be? Okay, I have to like 7 to 10 pages in one day. Okay, if I start at 12 o'clock, I should finish before the deadline at midnight tonight. We got this. And then be like one day done. But still, it was.
You and I have the same MO. It is a terrible way to work. Why do we do that to ourselves? I don't know.
We'll start by everything else first. Yeah.
I get it.
So it's all good. It's life, right? You gotta live it and love it.
Exactly.
Do you prefer boots or heels?
Boots. No question.
Yeah. I totally agree. I'm not sure why heels are so relevant anymore because, ever since COVID, I'm like, why? It's kind of like, we can all wear comfy pants and go out, right?
I wore nothing but cowboy boots for like 4 years of my life. Like I went to the beach with cowboy boots on. Oh, I had cowboy boots on. Like I just lived in them. And the cobbler in Washington, D.C., like I loved these boots and I took them to him. And one day he'd like resold them like 3 times. And finally he was like, no more. Go get a new pair of boots. Yeah. So I took a picture of them. They're actually up on Instagram because I was duct taping the ball of the foot. There was a hole in the ball of the foot. And I was like, forget it. And I just wanted to wear them. So I duct taped them. And I was like, before I threw them away, I took a picture and put it on Instagram. I'm like, these things are amazing. So
best boots ever.
Yep, exactly.
Well, so if we created a movie about your life, who would you want to play you?
Oh man. Wow. That's a great question. Who would play me? Maybe Anne Hathaway. I like her. But somebody a little bit grittier, maybe. I'm very tall, so she's tall. That's who I was thinking of, tall people. So it has to be. I always think that when you think about like if somebody has like an imposing, because I'm a tall, big woman and I'm loud, right? So you can't just cast somebody who's like small and quiet, because when you walk through life as a tall, big woman who's loud, you don't like, your life experience is different than average sized women, and again, I mentioned Sarah from Hello June. We've talked about this before because she's 5'2". I mean, she's tiny. And, but she's like an average size woman, a little bit, actually, she's, I think, shorter than average size woman. But so her life experience as a woman is way different than mine. It's not that I have never felt threatened in situations, because every woman has felt threatened at one time of their lives. But when you stand almost 6 feet tall in cowboy boots, like, there are just things that men like who might think about saying something or doing something, they won't do it because they know that they're going to get their ass kicked. Pardon my French. But yeah. So anyway, it would have to be somebody kind of imposing, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of British actresses that I like who might do
the first person I thought
like,
of when you said like that big, remind me of Charlize Theron in some of her more action movies. That big character of her, and that
somebody who's got like some grit to them. Yeah, she'd be great. Actually, she'd be awesome. So yeah,
all right, I'll call her up. We'll make it happen.
Let's do it. Yeah.
We'll figure out the funding later.
Right.
Oh, so this might be the second most difficult question.
Okay.
Where's Waldo?
Where is Waldo? My dad's name is Wally. So he's at the house I grew up in just up the street. His nickname is Waldo. People call him Waldo. So whenever I've seen the book Where's Waldo, I was like, that's my dad. So there he is.
I love that. Oh, I'll just have to call you now and be like, hey, where's your dad?
Where's my
looking for Waldo?
It's a good name. We almost named my son Wally, and I was like, can he have a name Wally? I don't know. So we didn't go with that ultimately, but yeah, it's a cool name.
Absolutely. So in your opinion, what's the best thing since sliced bread?
Oh man. The best thing since sliced bread. Well, I have to say two things that immediately spring to mind. The dishwasher is arguably the greatest human invention of all time. And the waffle cone. I'm a huge fan of a homemade waffle cone. Those two things are pretty amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
I would agree with you. Hey, after Hurricane Ian, we were like still hand washing with a hot pot of water where we had to go boil it first, and like that whole theory, because we didn't have electricity, so we had to use propane, and yeah, it was fun. Let me tell you, but it was like rustic camping. I'm like, okay, I'm over this.
I'm done. Yeah, exactly.
After 2 weeks, I'm like done. Let's get everything back to running water, electricity.
Right.
Let's get back to civilization.
Yes, exactly. That's a very first world thing, I guess, that I just said, but yeah.
Yeah.
The dishwasher. It helps when you're as busy as I am, things like convenience things really just make a big difference. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Absolutely. Kind of like air fryers. I love them.
They're awesome. I don't have one of those.
Oh my goodness.
People tell me they're great.
It will change your life, trust me, because I'm like, we tried to go get French fries out, and I'm like, I can't do them. Like, I can't do them in oil anymore. Like, I'm like, they're just gross. Like, they're gross to me anymore. I'm like, except for the occasional fresh cut in like peanut oil or something. But I'm like, oh my God, you put French fries in there, like fresh cuts or whatever. Just kind of like, well, baking was okay, but the air fryer, I'm like, it's like having a regular French fry without oil. Like it's just, telling you.
Okay, I'm getting one. You've sold me on that. I'm getting it.
Okay. If your husband's watching, here's a good Christmas present. Just an idea.
Family Christmas present. Yay.
Yes, definitely. Oh, so would you rather cook or order in?
Oh, cook. I'm a good cook. I love cooking for sure. And around here, you can't order anything. Like back in Nashville or when we're in Pittsburgh and we're visiting up there, like you can get really cool takeout stuff, but you can't. The takeout around here is not so great. So, yeah. We'll just. I'm a pretty good cook.
Maybe like a pizza every once in a while.
Every once in a while, yeah. But yeah.
So speaking of pizza. What is the worst pizza topping in your opinion?
Worst pizza topping in my opinion. Okay. Green peppers. I can't eat green peppers. So if a pizza has green peppers on it, I just won't eat it.
Done.
I will eat pineapple before I'll eat green peppers on a pizza. So I draw a line there.
So are you on the yay or nay side on pineapple? Just yay, you'll eat it?
I will.
Maybe.
I will. Yeah. I'm not opposed to it. And I like anchovies too. I mean, I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to pizza toppings, but no green pepper. So yeah.
Okay. As long as it's like they have to like, yeah, I can't see the little fish on there. I can't. Like it'd be fine if it was like mixed in the sauce or something, like kind of like when you do the Caesar dressings, it's mixed in.
Right.
I don't see
it's in there.
It's fine.
Or chopped finely or something.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like a mushroom. Yeah. A little bit of mushroom.
Little mushroom. There you go. Just tell me it's a mushroom. We're fine. Oh, what do you wish would magically clean itself?
Wait, what? You froze for a minute. So tell me that one again. Repeat that one.
Oh, what do you wish would magically clean itself?
Oh, my entire house. I love cooking. I'm not a huge fan of cleaning. So yeah, it would be great if like they would just sprinkle magic cleaning fairy juice dust all over the house and it would just magically take care of itself. Because no, don't love it at all.
No one has time for that stuff, just clean itself, right?
Yeah, just do it. I don't have time. I do like a clean house. Like I think better if the house is clean and organized, but sometimes I if it's cleaning or napping, I'm gonna nap. That's gonna happen. So for sure.
I'm on that game plan. Count me in too.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me something on your bucket list.
Oh, I really want to go. It's always travel for me. I mean, I love to travel and I love to see new places. Um, I really want to go to like West Africa, and I want to go to Senegal and Mali and hear some of that music like played there and how it's played there. Or not. Hello, kitty cat. Even Nigeria, like I'd love to go. Fela Kuti has like a whole, and Femi, his son, and the whole Kuti family, they have a whole like club there. I'd love to just go to that club and dance for all night long. And so yeah, Africa's kind of on my bucket list, and like Morocco, and out like all of North and West Africa. That's a place that I've just always wanted to travel to. Um, Another bucket list. I mean, I'd like to do US, like full US tour
Yeah.
and European tour for sure. So again, travel. So some may I'll take the guitar to Africa too and make that happen somehow. But yeah, you have full
Absolutely.
US tour, like get the van or the camper van or whatever it is, and just
The
go,
RV.
But just do it. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Hi, kitty. What's the kitty cat's name?
This is Tigger. She likes to come and visit during interviews. She's
Hi,
so
Tigger.
cute. She's like, she was meowing and scratching me. She was like doing the little paw things. I'm like, okay, I'll pick you up. I'll pick you up. Come here.
Nice.
So, which usually she'll just jump right on the desk. So, that was nice that she was being cute and kind and pawing and meowing, and so just jumping on the desk and probably knocking something off, because that's what cats do.
That is what they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pause your
And
internet
sweetheart.
connection, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, say I'm not too much trouble. I just need attention. And she does this during work meetings. And it's funny because like, we're gonna start doing more with the camera on. I'm like, really? Like, great. So what do you think? Well, I think I'm gonna pet the cat. Oh, you want me to talk about work? Oh, my bad. Sorry.
That's awesome.
No, I think they might be used to her now, because she'll come up and she'll just meow really loudly into the microphone. I'm like, Tigger says hi. Like yeah. That's how it works, right? Yeah.
We don't have cats. My husband's allergic to cats, so we have a puppy dog.
Oh, what kind of puppy do you have?
Susie Q. She is insane. She's her mother was feral, and about twice or three times a year, she lives on top of a mountain in Kanawha County, West Virginia. Her mother does, and they can't trap her. They've been trying to trap her for 5 years, but she won't go in the traps. And they can't dart her because there are too many coyotes up in the woods. So if they dart her, the coyotes will kill her. So there's this one rescue group that just monitors when she's pregnant. And every time she has a litter underneath this abandoned house up on that top of the mountain. And they go and get the puppies. And so Susie Q is one of those puppies. And she's predominantly collie and pit bull. So she looks like she looks like kind of an Australian shepherd or a border collie, but she's acts like a pit bull. So very like into her toys and bouncy and running around and all that stuff. So she's pretty funny. So it's a lot of energy.
Oh, that is so awesome. And all of our babies are rescues. This Tigger was a rescue. Yeah, she was outside for 6 months. When I met her, she was flea tick infested, and I'm like, at the time she was trying to rub on me, and I'm like, oh no, little sweet kitty, you have all these things on you, and I'm like, yeah. So, but yeah, she's so sweet. She's 19 now. We'll be 19 this year.
Wow.
So
19. Yeah. That's amazing.
And she's pretty healthy. Minus the fact she can't hear, but other than that, she's pretty good. And obviously you can see the arthritis in the hips when she jumps, like all animals as they,
Yeah.
So, and then I love to slap the puppies because I can. Doesn't take anyone's crap, don't you? See, nope. You're special.
My mom had a Siamese that lived to be 22 or 23.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We said she's
cute.
gonna live forever. Some of these, you know.
She looks really
So,
healthy.
yeah, she is. She's just a happy cat, and whatever she wants, we try to, make her happy. That's all.
Yay.
That's it. That's all you can do. Love animals and
That's
make them
right.
happy, right?
Exactly.
That's what we're here for. We're here for the animals, not the other way around. They
That's
are in
our job.
charge. We just live here in their house and pay for it, and we're their servants. That's how it
Yep.
works. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, so if you could be any person or a position like a CEO or accountant or whatever, surgeon maybe, who or what position would you want to be for the day and why?
For a day, just for a day.
Just for a day. Like if you wanted to keep Dolly Parton for the day, just to understand what she thinks and how things work with her, and
Wow.
I just use that because
Wow.
I would love to be her for the day. Just
That's pretty good one. Dolly Parton for a
Oh.
day would be pretty good. Yeah. I
Mhm.
heard there was an interview with, I think it was Jane Fonda, but it may have been Lily Tomlin, where, they got to be really good friends when they were filming 9 to 5, and they're still
Mhm.
really good friends. And, but neither of them has ever seen her out of makeup without a wig on. Like, so even like if they, knocked on the door at 4 o'clock in the morning and she's in bed, she does not come down the stairs until she's Dolly Parton. Like, no one but her husband has ever seen anybody, like, has ever seen her just without, not as Dolly Parton. Isn't that nuts?
That is.
If
That is.
I
But I
could
think that's
be,
just her, like I think, persona though. Like that's just where
I
some people have
know
to have
she
the
has
full
to be
makeup on
that
before they
person.
can go out in the world. And yeah.
Yep. Who would I be for one day? Wow. That is a crazy, crazy question, or a position to be in for one day. Man. I don't know. Wow. That's such an interesting question. Man. It would be, I don't know. I'm pretty happy being me. Who else? But just for one day. Like,
Yeah, like,
gosh. You know, I've been trying to enlighten myself as to the struggles of people of color in this country.
Mhm.
And I think I would probably like to walk around the world as a Black man or a Black woman for a day, anyone, just to see what the world is like from their perspective. I think that would help.
Cool. Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll get to the last of the 20 crazy questions.
Okay.
Do you have any words of wisdom that you live by? And if so, what are they?
Ooh. Wow. Let's see. Be kind. Just be kind.
Yes.
That's really the most important thing, right? Be kind. Unfailingly kind. And we all have those thoughts where we're not kind. But I think that's kind of like a mantra that I have. If you can step back away from those thoughts that we all have and think about it from a kindness perspective, everybody wins, and that's what I tell my kids in the classroom. Like, first rule of this classroom is always be kind. Always, always, always. And any other rule should be easy to follow after that one. So
Right?
kindness is, I guess, my religion, my mantra, and I strive to live in kindness and walk in kindness.
Oh, I love it. And that is so true. You just,
Yeah.
If the rest of the world was just kind, and really took that time
Yep.
to step back and be kind, and the world
It's
would
not
be even
nice.
more amazing.
Nice and kind are not the same thing. People
Right?
mistake niceness for kindness, because sometimes I'm not nice, but I am always kind. Sometimes I'm blunt in a way that would not be perceived as kind or as nice, but I am kind. If it doesn't need to be said, I don't say it. So, or I try not to. We always
blunt
try.
honesty.
All we can do is try, right? We're human. So
exactly. That's so true. So obviously we're coming to the end of this year, but what does 2023 look like for you? What have you been up to?
Man.
What's happening? Obviously still working and all the crazy. Oh, I think we froze again.
Super excited for 2023 began. So I want to see where those go. What's that? Oh, I froze again. Am I back?
We froze again. Yeah.
Am I back?
You're back. Hello.
Okay.
Good to see you.
So,
how are you doing?
2023, I have all these new songs, and some of them are unfinished. Most of them are unfinished. So I just want to see how those evolve and change and see what happens with those. Like maybe it'll be an album. Maybe it'll just be like individual single releases. Maybe it'll be an EP. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with them, but I'm excited to have so much new material to work with. And I'm excited to play some more shows with the band. Like we're sounding really good these days. So, and I am grateful and thankful to still be on this musical journey that I started when I was 3 years old in the church choir. And so just more of that in 2023, more of that, take my music to new places and create new music. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I know I'm looking forward to the new music. Always love new music. So we're excited, and you got to make sure you let us know so we can do a Hear It Here first with Crazy Women Country.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely will, for sure.
It's been a pleasure having you on today, Annie, and you're welcome back anytime.
Thanks, Donna. It's been so great talking with you. This has been really, really wonderful. Yay. I'm a fan of Crazy Women Country, and I appreciate anybody that's supporting women, especially crazy country women out there in the world. So yeah, keep rolling, keep giving us space and giving us voices. And thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, friends, for joining us for another episode. Make sure you go check out the links in the descriptions, and have a great day. If you enjoyed today's episode of Crazy Women Country, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to click the subscribe button for new interviews weekly. And thank you, friends, for joining us today on Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter.